I'm Orion. Welcome to Cosmic Mirror, your sanctuary for deep spiritual insight. Today, we're re-diving into one of the most mysterious and powerful forces within the human body, Kundalini energy, also known as the serpent of awakening. Maybe during meditation you've felt an unexplained heat rising in your body, or a coiled energy stirring at the base of your spine. Maybe you've been riding emotional highs and lows, having vivid dreams, or even finding your body moving spontaneously into ancient postures you've never learned, and you're left wondering, what's happening to me? The answer may be this: your inner serpent is waking up. In yogic and tantric traditions, Kundalini is the sacred energy coiled at the base of the spine, our most primal life force and the hidden key to higher consciousness. When this energy begins to stir, everything changes. Your body, your emotions, your perception of reality. Today, we'll explore 9 signs that may indicate your Kundalini energy is beginning to awaken. If even one of these sounds familiar, stay with me. You could be standing at the edge of a profound spiritual transformation. Part 1. What is Kundalini energy? The word Kundalini comes from the Sanskrit, meaning coiled like a serpent curled up at the base of your spine, waiting patiently for the moment to rise. Across ancient Indian Tantra, Tibetan Buddhism, Taoist inner alchemy, and other esoteric lineages, this concept of a dormant divine energy has always existed. Kundalini is not just an energy reserve, it is the bridge between your earthly self and your awakened universal self. In Western traditions, it's sometimes referred to as the holy fire or the primordial light of life. But here's what's crucial. Kundalini awakening doesn't happen because the mind wants it to. It often begins in ways we don't expect, through deep meditation or breathwork practices that open the energy channels. As a spontaneous result of trauma, near-death experiences, or life crises, through a dedicated spiritual study that activates the system at a certain point, or in the presence of a spiritual guide or a high vibrational energy field. The truth is, we don't wake the serpent. The serpent awakens when the soul is ready. It's not a curiosity to pursue. It's a sacred invitation that unfolds when your being has aligned. Part 2. The physical signs of energy awakening. When Kundalini begins to stir, the first place it touches is your body. What follows might be strange or even unexplainable, but it feels undeniably real. These signs often arrive suddenly and leave a deep imprint. Sign 1. Heat or vibrations at the base of the spine. One of the most commonly reported signs of Kundalini awakening is a sensation of warmth, subtle vibrations, a rising pulse of energy at the tailbone or lower spine. It may feel like something ancient is finally being set into motion, as if an invisible flame is being lit. This sensation can be gentle or intense. It may arise during meditation or hit you unexpectedly at night as you're falling asleep. It's not fatigue. It's not anxiety. It's an inner signal. The energy within you has started to respond. Sign 2. Spontaneous movements or postures. You might find that your body moves without your conscious intention. A gentle sway of the head, hands forming symbolic mudras, subtle tremors, or moving into yoga-like poses you've never learned. Don't panic. These are known as Kriyas, spontaneous movements triggered by the release of blocked energy. It's the serpent energy clearing out your internal channels, preparing your system for higher frequencies. As the Taoists once said, when the key arrives, the body moves. These movements aren't mental, they're energetic. Your body's being tuned from within. Sign 3. Localized heat, tingling, or pulsations. Many people experience warmth or heat in the spine, forehead, or crown. Tingling or twitching, intense buzzing, or vibrating sensations. These are physiological responses to energy flow. Your system is plugging in. You're getting wired for a different bandwidth of experience. You may feel pressure or pulsing at the third eye, tingles climbing up your spine, warmth or coolness in your palms or feet. These sensations come and go. They're not pathological. They're evidence that your energy system is awakening. A gentle reminder: these physical signs are just the beginning. They are not the goal. Do not chase them. Do not fear their disappearance. The key is to remain calm, centered, and observant. Allow your body to release and recalibrate naturally. Part 3. Emotional and consciousness shifts. As the serpent rises, it doesn't just move through your body. It dives deep into your emotional and psychological layers. You may find yourself caught in waves of powerful inner shifts, raw, surprising, and transformational. Sign for emotional surges and the surfacing of old wounds. Suddenly, you feel more sensitive than ever. You cry at the slightest trigger. You feel a deep sadness or rage arise out of nowhere. Long-buried childhood memories resurface. You're not falling apart. Kundalini is clearing your emotional body. What's been buried, fear, guilt, trauma, is being pulled to the surface for release. This is not regression. This is a soul-level healing. Like the waves of a rising tide, things must churn before they can clear. Tip: don't suppress it, but don't get lost in it either. Breathe. Write. Create. Sit in silence. Let the emotion move through you. Let it pass. Don't let it stay. Sign 5. Vivid, prophetic, or symbolic dreams. Your dreams begin to take on a whole new texture. Flying, falling, or time traveling. Encounters with mysterious beings. Receiving clear guidance, messages, or glimpses of the future. These are not random. Kundalini is activating your subconscious connection to higher realms. Your dream space becomes a classroom for the soul, guiding you through unhealed patterns and pointing you toward your next steps. In ancient cultures, this was called sacred dreaming, a sign that your spiritual path has entered a new phase. Sign 6. Disinterest in the material world, drawn to the spiritual. Suddenly, things that once entertained you feel meaningless. Scrolling on your phone, shopping, gossip, it all feels hollow. You lose interest in chasing status, comparison, or stimulation. You feel pulled toward silence. Nature, energy, work, or sacred texts. You start asking deeper questions. Why am I here? What happens after death? What is my soul's purpose? This is Kundalini recalibrating your consciousness. You're shifting from a mind-driven life to a soul-driven existence. You're not being strange. You're becoming more true. Remember this. These signs can bring confusion, disorientation, even resistance. But they are not problems to fix. They are thresholds to cross. The darker it gets, the closer you are to dawn. Part 4. Energy breakthroughs and the opening of spiritual channels. This stage is often dreamed of by spiritual seekers. But it is also a threshold that must be approached with reverence and deep awareness. Because this is when the Kundalini energy begins to break through your energetic architecture, activating higher channels, especially the crown chakra, the pineal gland, and soul-level connections. But make no mistake, this is not a game. This is not a stage for spiritual performance. Sign 7. Rising energy along the spine and sensations at the crown. This is perhaps the most iconic sign of the serpent's upward journey. You may experience a hot, cold, or electric sensation rising from the tailbone up through the spine, a crawling or wave-like motion along the back, sometimes burning, sometimes like flowing water, tingling, pressure, or a feeling of expansion at the crown of the head. A heightened sense of light in the space around you, or the feeling of being watched from behind. This means the Kundalini has moved through the lower chakras and is now activating the third eye, crown, or higher levels of consciousness. A critical warning: if you reach this stage without proper spiritual guidance or a grounded body-mind foundation, it can become dangerous. You may experience emotional instability, anxiety, or erratic thoughts, identity confusion, hallucinations, or psychosis-like symptoms, insomnia, intense pressure in the head, or chronic ringing in the ears. Kundalini is not just energy. It is your most primordial life force. It can become fire. It can become light. But it is never neutral. In ancient yogic texts, Kundalini was never approached casually. It was always taught with lineage, under the guidance of a qualified master. If you are experiencing signs like these, pause your deep practice immediately. Seek out an experienced spiritual teacher or a trusted energetic lineage. This is not a shortcut to psychic powers. It is the threshold to ego dissolution. Sign 8. Out-of-body experiences or astral projection. Some individuals during deep meditation or in dreams begin to experience seeing themselves from above while lying in bed, floating, gliding, or moving through space. A sensation of leaving the body, extending into larger fields of consciousness. Many traditions call this astral travel, soul journeying, or consciousness projection. It's a clear sign that the serpent energy has begun to loosen your identity from the physical body, and that your soul is exploring realms beyond material existence. But this does not mean you are enlightened. It simply means a door has opened. For a moment, your soul has been allowed to remember. Stay grounded and pure in your intentions. The more open you become, the more important it is to maintain clarity and protection, or you may become vulnerable to lower frequency interference. Sign 9. Spontaneous waves of divine love, compassion, or joyful presence. This may be the most subtle, yet profound sign of all. It arrives unexpectedly, without cause. A sudden, overwhelming sense of oneness with everything. Deep compassion for strangers or even people you once disliked. A sense of peace so vast, it silences all questions. A love that has no object, it simply pours through you, the unmistakable feeling, I am fully alive, here and now. This is the moment when the serpent has pierced through all 7 chakras, and your consciousness resonates with the higher source itself. You don't just feel love. You become love. You become silence. You become a clear, luminous field of presence. No words can explain this. Only silence recognizes it. This is not the end of the path. This is where it truly begins. Kundalini does not rise to impress, to show miracles, or grant powers. It rises to lead you home, to the most authentic version of yourself. Part 5. A path of power, but not for everyone. Dear spiritual traveler, if you followed this far, then you already sense the truth. Kundalini awakening is not some mystical badge to show off. It is a profound, often intense, and deeply sacred process of inner transformation. Yes, it is your most ancient, most divine energy, but precisely for that reason, it can burn or it can bless. Before you seek this path, please listen carefully. Who should not attempt to awaken Kundalini intentionally? 1. Those with unstable mental health. If you're currently dealing with anxiety, depression, bipolar episodes, or PTSD, Kundalini will not heal you. It will magnify everything, including your deepest shadows. 2. Those with chronically low physical vitality. If you often feel drained, sleep poorly, or struggle with weak energy, a sudden surge of Kundalini could overwhelm your system, leading to intense side effects. 3. Those without proper spiritual guidance or support. 3. Those without proper spiritual guidance or support. If you have no trusted teacher, no supportive community, and no grounded knowledge of mind-body practices, you're simply not equipped to handle the raw force this energy brings. 4. Those driven by ego, power-seeking, or spiritual performance. If your motivation is to unlock more powers, become more advanced, or awaken overnight, Kundalini will only bring chaos, backlash, or psychological collapse. Kundalini is sacred feminine life force. She responds to reverence and humility, not control or showmanship. If you're already on the path, here's how to stay grounded. 1. Slow down. Do not rush the process. Awakening has its own sacred rhythm. There is nothing to chase. Your soul knows the way. 2. Stay grounded in the everyday. Cook, clean, walk barefoot on the earth. These simple acts are your spiritual grounding rods. 3. Connect deeply with nature. Forests, rivers, sunlight, these are ancient medicine fields of balance and regulation. 4. Choose gentle, stabilizing practices. Breathwork, yin yoga, mindful walking, and soft qigong are far more effective than aggressive meditation or energy pushing. 5. Create a spiritual sanctuary around you. Find a teacher you trust. Join a warm and steady spiritual community. A true seeker should never walk this path alone. Kundalini is not who you will become, it's who you already are. Dear one, this journey is not about becoming a higher version of yourself. It is about returning to what is already true. You are not building something new. You are shedding the false and remembering what is eternal. You are not becoming divine. You are remembering that you always were. I'm Orion. Thank you for walking this far with me. If this message resonated with your journey, I invite you to like and subscribe to Cosmic Mirror. Share this video with someone going through a Kundalini awakening. Leave a comment with your experiences, questions, or moments of breakthrough. We are here to walk this path together. Here, we don't just talk about spirituality, we live it together. May the serpent rise with grace. May the universe within you awaken gently. And may you become a voice of love, clarity, and power in this world. Until next time.